Hello, my name is Maya. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, the title is correct. I know that I said I would not watch season 4 of Miraculous and then I had written off the show in my last Miraculous video, which thank you for all the views because that's by far my most viewed video, so that's nice. But some circumstances led me to this place. First, one of the people who watched the video, I have the plague. I'll get to that in a second. Hoppy426, she put this comment and she told me what happened in the season 4 finale and actually got me really intrigued. So I was like, oh, you know what? I wasn't gonna watch it. I wasn't gonna, I was just gonna kind of just leave it be. After the whole ephemeral mess that was the last time I tried to watch season 4 of Miraculous. But she actually explained it, and I was like, oh, that's interesting, so I kind of want to check that out. And then Disney Plus put season 4 on Canadian Disney, and I was like, oh well, this is a sign. I mean, I was kind of thinking of watching it, now it's here on Disney Plus. I had the entire season. I mean, all that was really missing was the time. And then I got COVID. I actually still have COVID. I'm on my 4th day of quarantine. The first few days were bad, but I'm feeling a lot better today, so that's why I'm filming. But I just spent the last 2 days binge watching Miraculous season 4 because honestly, I had nothing else to do. I've been really, really bored. The worst thing about COVID is the boringness that comes with the quarantine, at least where I am in BC. We only have to do 5 days if you're fully vaccinated. So I get out of here on Monday, which is really nice. But I'm still here. If I am coughing or my voice sounds like it's going or I need to drink more, that is why. It is COVID that is making it this way. But due to all of these circumstances coming together, it was the perfect storm for me to actually watch season 4. So I did. I know it took a while. She commented a long time ago. It took a while to get to this place, but I actually did watch season 4, yes. So what I want to do today is do a overview of the entire season, and while we're going through the overview, I'm going to tell you my thoughts on some of the things that happened. First, just general thoughts on the season itself. This is going to be spoilers, obviously. If you don't want spoilers for Miraculous, then you should probably click off after I give you general thoughts. I actually thought that this season was way better than season 3 and even season 1 and 2. I liked season 1 and 2 for the ridiculousness of it and the novelty of what we were watching, but it got tired really quickly because it was the same formula and it really felt like we had no continuous through plot. The nice thing about season 4 is that we actually had continuous through plots. Things that happened in the episode before actually mattered and carried over into other episodes. And I had not seen that from Miraculous. So I was actually really shocked to see that there was a continuous through plot. And I think that that really helped make the season a little bit more enjoyable. It made it more bingeable because I was actually wanting to watch the next episode to find out what happened. And it also just made the season really flow better, and it made the season have more of a point. I felt like there was more structure. Another thing that happened is they kind of started to mix up a bit of the formula. The formula is really, really getting tired. It's basically Hawkmoth akumatizes a sad / mad / upset / jealous, emotional Parisian, and it's always the same 8 people that get akumatized. No one else in Paris can be upset, and they just turn into a monster. Ladybug and Cat Noir come and save the day, and sometimes some other superhero comes, and that's pretty much it. That's the entire episode. In this season though, the akumatized fights were basically down to maybe 5 minutes in total of certain episodes, and they focused a lot more on other things. I'm not saying that all the time those other things were good that they focused on, but it was a nice change because it wasn't we were just doing the same thing over and over again. Though I will say, I'm sorry, I know they pointed out that Mr. Pigeon gets akumatized a lot, but pointing it out doesn't mean that you have to do it again, because that was a 70-second akumatization, and I think I think we can let it go. I think I loved Mr. Pigeon when I first saw Mr. Pigeon, but it is now season 4 and he's been akumatized 72 times. We can let Mr. Pigeon go. Other than that, I just thought that there was a bit of a change, and I could see that they were going for a different season 5. I don't know if I don't have a lot of trust issues with Miraculous Ladybug, so I don't know if that's actually going to pay off. Like, I don't know if season 5 is actually going to be what season 4 has built it up to be, but if it is, I am very excited, and I will be watching just to find out if it actually is going to be what season 4 built it up to be, because if so, I really like the direction they're going in. And overall, I was the same level of annoyed at Miraculous that I always am, and I think that's a safe level, because I was not extra annoyed and I was not under annoyed. I was safely annoyed. And I think that's the bar that I needed to be at to have a good time with Miraculous. So I actually didn't mind season 4. There were some things I really hated, and obviously we're running out of a lot of ideas. It became very obvious in the way that they got more and more crazy, but I'm not saying I didn't like some of the craziness that they brought to the table. Let's go through a quick overview, and I'm just going to talk a little bit about some plot points that happen that I think are interesting. So the first episodes are part 1 and part 2. So part 1 is truth and part 2 is lies. Truth follows Marinette, who's trying to date Luca and struggles with keeping her secret from him about being Ladybug. So we see her trying to go on dates with him and then being called to go be Ladybug and abandoning him and him being upset. And then lies is basically the same thing, but Adrian doing that to Kagami. So it's like, but honestly, when it comes to Adrian and Kagami, I'm not actually quite sure if they were officially dating. I know that Marinette and Luca were, but I think Kagami was just in love with him and Adrian was like trying to kind of give her what she wanted. However, like he just couldn't. And also, obviously with both of them, Marinette was struggling with her feelings with Adrian, and Adrian was struggling with his feelings towards Ladybug. So it was an interesting parallel, and both Luca and Kagami get akumatized, so Luca in truth and Kagami in lies. And basically what the point of these 2 episodes was to show us that they really struggle with being able to keep up relationships and having their superhero powers and keeping up the lies, and how much the lies of being superheroes, it's starting to really bug them. It's starting to really get to them, especially Marinette. I would say like Adrian, it starts to get to him later in the season, but Marinette, it's really, really clear that it's starting to really bother her that she cannot tell people who she is. And she basically feels very alone. She's taking on the guardianship role, which is another big thing about Truth, is that she's really struggling with all of the responsibility of being a guardian and being a guardian alone too. It's really, really hard for her. So she's having a super hard time with that, and it's really starting to affect her. And basically, both episodes end with Adrian breaking up with Kagami, or no, Kagami broke up with Adrian, and I believe Marinette broke up with Luca. Marinette and Luca kind of end on better terms than Kagami and Adrian, because Kagami can't get over the fact that Adrian is lying to her about something. Now, I'm not saying that these 2 episodes were kind of ridiculous, but I did appreciate that they actually told the same timeline. So we started off with Marinette and you barely see Adrian / Cannawal, and then we go to the flip side and you realize you're watching the same episode through, but you're watching what Adrian did in that time span. So I liked that. And I also liked how it kind of set up the main struggle of the season, which is both of them really struggling with keeping their secrets, and how the secrets are actually becoming more detrimental to keep than to actually say. So that was kind of what I got from the theme of this episode. So then we move on to the next episode, and Marinette has broken up with Luca. She's heartbroken about it. She is very upset. And she's basically closed herself off from everyone, believing that she can never have a relationship. So, like, her friends come together, they get akumatized because they're upset, like, but like, who really cares about who gets akumatized at this point? But they get akumatized, and Marinette kind of realizes that she shouldn't be keeping these things from them, and she ends up opening up. And then the stress of everything about being the guardian, about breaking up with Luca, about feeling so alone, really gets to her, and she ends up telling Alia that she is Ladybug. And this is the first big major change that I loved about this season. I was getting so fucking sick and tired of this bullshit of her keeping her secrets and Adrien keeping his secrets. I was hoping that Adrien would tell Nino. There was a point in time, like later on in the season, where I actually thought that Adrien should have told Nino that he was kind of well, but I'll get to that later. But I think this was good. I really wish that she had told Kanawal, but I understand why we can't do the reveal yet at the beginning of the season. But this was good. This made sense, and it actually ended up making for a good change to the season, because Alia ended up really being helpful to Marinette the entire time and was able to take a lot of the stress of being a guardian off of her. And so that was really nice. So we get that. Then we get this episode where like Master Fu, I guess, lost his memory, and he comes back. Oh, Mr. Pigeon got akumatized again, but like, do we really care? But anyways, Mr. Fu comes back, and along with Master Fu comes the guy I termed Bouncy Master in my last video, and I will continuously call him Bouncy Master, but apparently he is the Grand Master of the box. Oh, and also Marinette is trying to find a way to stop people from getting akumatized. So that's a big plot line at the beginning of the season. And Alia, now that she knows, is trying to help. So Bouncy Master comes and he tells Marinette that she shouldn't be a guardian and she shouldn't be a superhero, and neither should Kanawal, because they're kids. And I was like, yes. I like hate to say this, but Marinette's a hot fucking mess. And this season proves to me, yes, okay, Marinette did do some competent things this season. When she figured out how to stop people from getting akumatized, that was great. It's basically just like a little gem that they carry, like a little keychain or something that they just have to put on them, carry on their person. And then, you know, Hawkmoth can't, or Shadowmoth now can't akumatize. And I thought, hey, that was great. But she's also like kind of losing it. And she's playing this really complex game, like the responsibility of being a guardian while also just being a kid and having to go to school, and like her being kind of manic and crazy in her obsession with like Adrien really fucks her over in the end. And honestly, we wouldn't see that with someone who is an adult. Like, I don't think an adult would have been like so gung-ho about giving Adrien, the dog, Miraculous. And because she's so fixated on giving Miraculouses only to her friends, the only Miraculous holders in like all of Paris are literal kids. And like, I know that like, I think Alia is very mature, and I think like maybe she's the only one who should have the Miraculous, like TBH. But a lot of them, like, I know they don't hold on to it like long term, but like even Alia, like, they're kids. They want, like, they're not gonna make the right decisions, like in a lot of times, mostly because they're not running on like the same rationality that an adult person would. And I'm not saying an adult person wouldn't also fuck up, but I'm just saying I understand where this guy's coming from, because honestly, I wouldn't give a 15-year-old this much power. And it's honestly amazing that Paris hasn't gone to shit because they gave 15-year-olds this much power. Like, a lot of them would turn up just like Felix if they gave 15-year-olds power. So I understood what he was saying. But then he watches her and Kanawal defeat in a Sentimonster because, oh my god, I skipped over the most important thing. Hawkmoth is now Shadowmoth. He merged the Peacock and the Hawk Miraculouses. So now he's got Sentimonster power, so he can make like fake monsters that they can fight. It's very similar to Alia's ability. So after he sees them fight a Sentimonster well, he decides that Marinette is a good guardian because she, like, I don't know, thinks outside the box or something. I don't know. He very much changed his tune immediately. It reminded me of when he changed his tune immediately in Ephemeral. But yeah, so that's kind of it. Also, meanwhile, while all this is happening, Adrian's doing a shit ton of modeling. And they're also going to the movies a lot. I would like to bring up the new set that they have, which is the movie set. They go to the movies maybe like, I don't know, maybe like 8 times this entire season, maybe even more than that. They're constantly at the fucking movies. It's actually crazy. And you know what's even crazier is they have cardboard cutouts now. At the movie theaters, there's cardboard cutouts of Cat Noir and Ladybug, and there's also a cardboard cutout of Adrian that some random fan keeps carrying around, and it's actually crazy to me that they do that. They also have an anime movie of Cat Noir and Ladybug, and they're like, it's starting to create like this really weird in-universe superhero universe, and also like Adrian is like, I don't know, he's killing it in his modeling game. I mean, good for him, but don't worry, he's sad about it. Then we get introduced to Zoe, who is Chloe's half-sister. She ends up taking on the Bee Miraculous. So Chloe's no longer Queen Bee. And I was interested by this change. I get where Marinette's coming from. I do. Chloe's not trustful. But Chloe felt like she was put to the sidelines a lot this season. There were a few episodes where she was really in it, most of them to do with Zoe, and then there was that one soccer episode. But she was mostly put to the sidelines, and I feel like that's not very fair to Chloe, because I actually really like Chloe, and I missed her a lot. I also felt like a lot of the times it was Marinette and Alia's show now. It wasn't Marinette and Adrian's show. I felt like there were a few episodes where I barely saw Adrian, and I was like, where is my boy? Like, where is he? Like, I would get so upset when I wouldn't see him. I would be like, I don't want to watch the Marinette show. I want to watch the Adrian show. So that's kind of my thoughts there. I didn't mind Zoe. I thought she made an okay Vesperia. It was at least a bit of a change to the superhero group. Then we get my favorite episode ever. It's called Queen Banana, and I just want to talk about this episode for a second. Chloe, my blessed queen. So Zoe is up for this lead in this student-led movie that the schools like got funding to put on, and this like big producer and like writers are gonna be in it. I don't know. It was a whole thing. Anyways, so Chloe finds out that Zoe's a lead, so Chloe wants to be lead, so she like blackmails the person who gave the funding in order, or the producer or whoever it was. I think it was the producer, into making her the lead. And so she wants to make it like she's a superhero lead, and she's about to say that she wants to be Queen Bee, her alter ego, but then gets told off about doing that and becomes Queen Banana. And I swear she looked fire. She looked amazing. She had a banana mobile. She had a stupid cowboy hat. And I was losing it. She looked so funny. And she was like, kept trying to make changes to the script. And this is how, obviously, Zoe gets to be Vesperia. But like, oh my god, it was so funny. Chloe gets akumatized, this is the first time I think she gets akumatized 2 times in this season. And the first is Queen Banana, and oh my god, it was funny. It was actually funny. Mostly because it was bad. And then the students put together a film, and it was basically just a ripoff of Star Wars, and I would like to bring attention to that, because I think we need to acknowledge it was just a ripoff of Star Wars. Anyways, I just found that episode really funny. But moving on, we find out that Rose used to be sick as a kid with something. Mostly I just wanted to point that out because Julika and Rose are cute as fuck. Cute as fuck. AF. I love them. They're cute. They're like the best part. I think they're fucking adorable. And that's all I want to say about that. So Marinette, like, she was humming and hawing about it, but she gives Alia the fox Miraculous for her to keep personally. So Marinette has kept everyone's Miraculouses except for obviously Kanawal, who she doesn't know the identity of, and so she gives Alia the fox to keep on her person. And this causes Marinette to have like a lot of stress and anxiety about it, obviously because she's afraid that something bad's gonna happen. And lo and behold, my boy Shadowmoth has been playing a game behind the scenes. Let me take you back to Shadowmoth. Shadowmoth has basically, well, I think it may have been Natalie that made it, but it's this butterfly that's actually been spying on everyone he knows to be a Miraculous holder. So basically everyone except for Marinette and Adrian, he's been spying on to try to figure out if they can lead him to Ladybug. And he comes up with, like, he knows that like Rena Rouge is a Miraculous holder. So he comes up with a plan that involves putting her entire family in bubbles in the sky with Senta Bubbler. And he's a Senta monster. Senta Bubbler, so it's not actually Nino. Nino's in the sky. So he gets her to like give up Ladybug, like to so let's see, he wants Ladybug to come, give the Miraculous. I'm not quite clear on the plan. I think they were gonna put the butterfly like in the, oh no, I think they were just gonna capture her or something, or they were gonna get like reveal her identity or put something in the Miraculous so they could like follow. I was kind of unclear on the plan, honestly, but point being, there was a plan to capture Ladybug, and Shadowmoth and Natalie were like on top of it, and they were using Alia, and it actually almost worked, except for they trapped Marinette in a bubble. So Ladybug's in a bubble in the sky because they have no idea it's Marinette. Somehow this girl has kept her identity secret, which is honestly amazing to me. And even more amazing to me is Gabriel, is you haven't noticed that your own son is fucking kinda wild. Felix put together the pieces in 5 seconds. You are literally an incompetent 40-year-old. Get your shit together. Anyways, he, unbeknownst to him, has already fucked up his own plan because he's trapped Marinette in a bubble in the sky. So luckily, Rena Rouge's powers involve creating illusions. So she creates an illusion of Ladybug, comes up with a whole plan, and is able to get Ladybug out of the bubble, and Shadowmoth, doesn't get what he wants, basically. But the reason I point out this episode is A, it showed to Marinette that Alia is very much useful. B, because Alia tricked Shadowmoth into thinking that like Ladybug will never give her the Miraculous again, even though Alia has the Miraculous, she can no longer go out in public as Rena Rouge. So she becomes, oh my god, like a stealth fox. She changes the color of her, I can't remember what her actual name was. It was something really stupid. But so she starts following them on hunts to see if Shadowmoth is following them in any way. And it actually really helps Marinette out because she's able to figure out if anyone is in danger, and she's got eyes in the sky and this secret, but she also doesn't tell Kanawal, which kind of comes back to bite her later. And also, Gabriel says something really funny. So he's like, oh my god, Marinette's like so, or not Marinette, he says Ladybug, he doesn't know it's Marinette, is so like smart, she's always outwitting us, she never makes mistakes. That is the biggest load of ass I have ever heard. Gabriel, you're just incompetent. I don't know how to say this to you, but like Marinette makes so many mistakes. It's actually not even funny. The problem is that Gabriel is actually so neglectful to his son that he cannot see what's right in front of him. If Gabriel was actually like a present parent, he would have figured out probably immediately that Adrian is kind of well. And this is not to say any shade to Marinette's like parents, because they're very present, but the thing is that they don't have Miraculouses, right? Like they don't know that, like they know about Ladybug and kind of well, but they don't know about Miraculouses and shit. Gabriel does. There is no way that he would, if he had been present, he wouldn't have figured it out. And also, I think it's very stupid. Here's my rant. I think it's stupid as fuck that every single kid in one class is getting Miraculouses, okay? You know that this entire class of like 15-year-olds, every single kid is basically had a Miraculous at some point, except for Marinette and Adrian. Does that not seem sus to you, Gabriel? Are you not missing the identity of exactly 2 Miraculous holders? Every single person in the class that goes with Marinette and Adrian have gotten a Miraculous. Should you not be more suspicious of this? Should you not, I don't know, like, investigate Marinette and Adrian about this? Because, first of all, A, they look like Ladybug and Canoal. Their hair, their faces, they fit the age range. They're both kids. Everyone in their class is getting Miraculouses, and only people in their class are getting Miraculouses. So is this not suspicious to you? I just don't understand why he can't think that. It doesn't make any sense. He's like, oh, no, it must not be them because we haven't seen Ladybug hand them a Miraculous. It's like, hey, bitch, maybe they are Ladybug. Have you ever thought about that? He's so stupid. It's his own incompetence. Ladybug / Marinette is actually so incompetent. But luckily for her, Shadow Moth is even more incompetent. So it actually is okay. Anyways, that's my rant about that. Like, the actual incompetence of this man. Like, I'm sorry, do better? Felix did better. And he's 15. Sir. Is it not suspicious to you? And this is also why I think that Marinette fucked up by only giving her classmates Miraculouses, because if Gabriel was anyway competent, he would have seen the pattern and probably would have put 2 and 2 together. But luckily he's not. But I think that she should have tried to not done that, because it looks very suspicious when it's only a set group of kids just getting it. Like, the same fucking kids. Like, it just, I mean, it's very suspicious. Also, we found out that Jagged Stone is Luca and Julica's father. We found that out later, but I forgot to mention it. Yes, it was a big shock, big reveal. I was very shooketh to my core. Oh, her name was Rena Furtive. That was what she was called. It was stupid all the time. Then the next episode, so basically when Alia becomes Rena Furtive, she obviously can't say anything to Nino. So she tells him that she's no longer Rena Rouge. And it's really hard for her to lie to him. And throughout this episode, Nino believes that after watching the anime movie, that Alia is actually in love with Canoal and is going to leave him. So, first of all, I think Alia and Nino are a very cute couple. I ship. But also, this is kind of when I thought that Adrian should reveal himself. I understand why he didn't, but I also thought it would have been the perfect time. I just feel like the parallels of Marinette revealing to Alia and then Adrian revealing to Nino would have actually been nice, because I feel like Adrian was actually so alone this entire season. Like, Marinette finally got what she wanted, which was a partner that knew who she was. But Adrian / Canoal was basically pushed to the side the entire season by Ladybug, and continuously, like, as the season went on and on, you could see that it really started to get to him, and he started to feel more and more alone. And I think it actually would have been nice if the writers had actually given Adrian the same chance to kind of have a friend the way that they did with Marinette. And I just think telling Nino that he was kind of wild in order to, like, tell him that, you know, he knows for a fact that they're not together would have been a reasonable enough excuse for him to reveal his identity. But who am I to say? Then we get, oh my god, the Save the Trees episode. But in this episode, the mouse Miraculous is used. Then we actually get another decent enough episode where basically Marinette and Adrian actually start to freak out about the future, because they've realized that they're currently superheroes and probably neglecting their schoolwork, but they actually don't have much thought about what they want for the future, especially Adrian. And this is when his whole kind of arc and downward spiral about not wanting to be a model anymore and not wanting to be what his parents want him to be, and really realizing that he's never had a dream of his own or like a want of his own besides maybe like kind of wow. And even then he's starting to kind of not like it anymore just because he feels like he's being ousted by everyone else, and that Ladybug's kind of neglecting him. So he starts to kind of have a bit of a panic, and Marinette, being Marinette, I don't know, goes through this entire arc where she's like, I don't know what I want to do, and then she decides she's going to do it all. So she came up with a stupid conclusion. But for Adrien, I thought that arc was actually handled really well, and I think it was interesting to kind of see him start to actually think about what he wants, because Adrien really truly over the past little while, though he's not like ever shown like outwardly that he's unhappy, you can see the signs, and I think it's actually nice that they're starting to show it, because, and they're actually starting to verbalize it, and they're actually starting to show arcs about it, because I think Adrian's like the best fucking character on this show, and sometimes he gets really underutilized because they just want to have Marinette time, and Marinette can piss me the fuck off. Like, I think Marinette was actually better this season than all the other seasons. Like, she didn't annoy me as much all the time, but every once in a while she'll do something that actually like makes me lose my mind. Like, I'm like, you're actually fucking insane. Like, I'm so sorry, but having a diagram to ask out Adrien, it's just a lot. It's just a lot. Like, why are we still here in season 4? Like, I think that progress was made at the end of the season for sure, and I can see next season a horizon where we're not doing this bullshit, but it was still so tiring. And to think that she thinks that it's so easy to just like do like 6 different jobs at once. Like, I understand that she's juggling a lot right now at 15, but I'm sorry, miss, but like, if you want to be a fashion designer, like, go the fuck ahead, Marinette, but don't tell me that you're gonna do that and be like 2 other things, plus be a superhero and a guardian. I'm sorry, like, it just being an adult is freaking hard, okay? Like, your mom's doing everything for you right now. By the way, her mom fucking slaps. Like, justice to her mom. I love her mom. Her mom, with that episode where we focused on her mom's amazing. More episodes where we focus on her mom. I love her mom. But her mom's doing everything for her right now, and I just think that it's very naive, and I understand she's 15, but if she's really gonna be this mature person, it's really naive of her to believe that she can really do all that stuff and not lose it. She's already on the brink of everything, and she's got her mom doing basically everything for her right now. Not like all the chores and the household duties and the money and all that shit, not the superhero stuff, but you know what I mean, basically. It was a little bit naive of her, but we also got this lovely scene where Luca holds a violin up to the wind, and it goes across the strings, and it makes a noise, and it's supposed to be deep, and it was stupid. It was stupid. I actually hate Luca. I'm so sorry to the Luca stands out there. I'm so sorry to the Marinette, Adrien, Luca Thorple stands. I hate Luca. And it's not because he's in the way of the love triangle, because he's not, or the love square, because he's not in the way. What he is in the way of is common sense. This guy annoys the absolute shit out of me. Every time he's on screen, he's saying something really weird, and he's doing something really weird, and I love that his passion is stringed musical instruments, but why did he hold a violin up to the wind so you could hear it? Like, no, I'm sorry. Go jump into the river with your crocodile dad. And then we get the episode where Marinette has to go on a trip to London to visit her aunt. So, and we get this conflict that's actually kind of stupid, because let me tell you why it's stupid. She's like, I can't leave Paris unattended for a weekend. What will I do? Girl, have you not been to New York for like a week? Have you not been to Shanghai for like a week? I saw the movies. This was not like, this has happened before. You've left Paris unattended before. Both you and Cannawal. Cannawal's still fucking there. This is what I'm saying. Like, she legitimately doesn't think of Cannawal like a lot this season. It's actually really annoying. Like, she definitely like pushes him to the side. And it's like, I'm sorry, but Cannawal's still there. It's a weekend. Like, I understand that you're worried. I get it. but like we've had this conflict before. Like I understand that something did happen. I do. Okay, something did happen. She was not wrong to worry, but I'm saying that we've seen her go on long extended trips before. So this was a weird conflict to have. It felt like a very big disconnect between the movies and the TV show, is all I'm trying to say. So it was kind of stupid. But she gives Alia Tiki. So she gives her the Ladybug Miraculous in case anything happens. And Nerdy Guy's robot, is his name Marvin? Perhaps. Something along those lines. Gets akumatized by our good friend Shanama, who is, mind you, stupider than a 15-year-old. And so he gets them akumatized, and we actually get this part where you can see Kanawa starting to really, like, the cracks are starting to show, because he goes and he like meets Ladybug, and he knows immediately that's not Ladybug, that's not his Ladybug, and he starts attacking her, and she's like, no, like, Ladybug gave me her Miraculous because she's away for the weekend. And kind of was like, well, why didn't she say anything? And she's like, oh, well, like, maybe she didn't have time. And you can just see, like, it's like stop. And he's like, well, you know her identity, right? Because she gave you the fucking Miraculous. Like, and he's starting to be like, okay, well, now people know. Like, someone knows, you know? And also, Luca knows. You can't tell me otherwise. Because there was that, like, when he saw both, like, last, like, in the childhood dream episode, if we go back to the Career Expo one, he saw Ladybug get changed into Marinette, and he saw Kanwa get changed into Adrian, and then he lied about saying that he saw that. So he knows. And they did nothing with that, and I thought that was really stupid, because if you're gonna make him know, do something with that. But anyways, back to the point, they don't know that Luca knows, so obviously Kanawal's getting pissed. He's like, why is Ladybug doing this to me? She's keeping secrets from me. She's obviously told someone her fucking identity and not me. And it's starting to really piss him off. And, like, honestly, it's starting to really piss me off too. So, like, I was on the same board. But anyways, we see Alia become Scarabella. Scarabella. And she saves Paris, and that is that. Marinette does apologize to Kanawal for not telling him about giving the Miraculous to another holder, and he accepts her apology. Then we get the episode that I already watched, where they were like couple of the year and they're like depressed. So I actually didn't watch those episodes again. The 3 episodes that I did watch, Glaciator 2, Ephemeral, and Dearest Family, I didn't watch those again. So I'm just gonna skip over those right now. Right, so then the important thing that happens next. So Marinette / Ladybug has been giving out these little charms to every single person that gets akumatized. And basically I think it takes the Akuma and then it changes it up and it gives a protection charm. And so Gabriel hasn't been able to akumatize a lot of people because of the protection charm. But obviously he is Gabriel Agrast and he's working on a solution. There's this fucking dinner party that Marinette sneaks into pretending to be Reno the waiter, and it was so bad I don't even want to talk about it, but I have to because it's plot relevant. But basically it's at Gabriel's house, and the reason she sneaks in is because Chloe takes this video of the 2 Miraculous comic book writers telling Marinette how she's gonna express her love to Adrian, like writing a fairy tale. I can't even say it, like it's so bad. Definitely I think one of the worst plots this season was that. But anyways, they tell her how to do that, and I don't know, Chloe takes this video that she's gonna show Gabriel. It's gonna show that Marinette's trying to like steal Adrian away, basically. And then Adrian will be able to go to school. And thereby, if Adrian's not going to school, then Adrian's not being with Marinette. Am I right? Felix is also at this party. And I didn't realize this because I didn't finish season 3, but I guess Felix took, like, Gabriel's wife's wedding ring. Yes, Cryo Mom is still there. Don't you fucking worry. We're gonna get to her. And Gabriel's pissed about it, so he's trying to get the ring back. And then, like, also Felix kind of knows that he's, like, Shadow Moth, which, like, Felix, you deserve to win. I'm sorry. He deserved to win at the end because this guy is smarter than everyone else. The 40-year-olds, he's smarter than them. The 15-year-olds, he's smarter than them. Felix fucking wins. Good Felix. He deserves it. That guy's the only one with fucking sense. Anyway, so he knows because, I mean, it's very fucking obvious if you just take like 5 seconds. He's trying to find the Miraculouses, and Gabriel, and Gabriel's trying to convince him that he's not, so like he sent monsters himself, Gabriel aggressed, and then pretends to akumatize himself, which honestly, I'll give it to him, that was a smart plan. Because now obviously like Marinette and Adrian are not going to think that it's him because he got akumatized. But if they had done what Felix did, which was the pant rip test, he would have figured it out. And Felix did. I mean, again, smartest one on this show. Smartest one. Hands down. All of us bow down to Felix, the only one who has intelligence. My point of saying what this fucking episode is that Marinette, after obviously, or I guess Ladybug, after Gabriel gets akumatized, gives her the charm, and then obviously Gabriel is able to figure out how to break through those charms because Marinette gave him a copy, which is once again Marinette fucking up. Though that one I will say was hard to tell, obviously. Like, I'm not gonna say like that's actually a huge fuck up on Marinette's part, but still, I mean, maybe if she wasn't pretending to be weird, she would actually get her shit together. Let me get the episode where Marinette wants to take Adrian, like, makes this entire plan to get Adrian to sit next to her at a comedy show because she thinks that Adrian likes this clown named Harry Clown, and she knows Harry Clown, and then Harry Clown gets akumatized because people don't take him seriously because he's just a clown. It was stupid. Oh yeah, this entire time, Marinette's been using her superhero squad. Cannawal is getting a little bit jelly, and also, Rena Rouge is still furtive. She has a cool costume though. I will say I liked it. It was pretty cool. I don't know if it's very stealthy. It's very white, but it's pretty cool. She's still following and trying to kind of see if Shadow Moth is trying to take her down at any moment. And then we get, I think, probably my favorite episode of this season. The episode called Kuruneko. Basically, Ladybug keeps like calling other superheroes into Akuma fights and not calling Cannawal. And obviously like Adrian's getting upset about this and he's feeling like she doesn't prioritize him anymore, like she doesn't want him on the team. So when he goes to confront her, Marinette's kind of in like a big how do you do, and she doesn't realize what she's saying, and she basically tells him to like stop wasting your time and to like, and he says, oh, I'll give my Miraculous, and she's like, fine, I don't care. And so he does, and then she realizes the mistake she made, and then she starts freaking out because obviously she needs a Cannawal and they can't be under the same roof, and she can't give a Cannawal, like she can't give someone the Miraculous because she can't know who Cannawal is, so she starts freaking out. And then Plague comes up with a plan to basically go back to Adrian and get Adrian to kind of change who he is as Cannawal, and he puts on this romance like 1920s romance Luke, like pirate Luke, and goes out there as a new Cannawal who's very polite, very Adrian-esque actually, I would say. Like she falls for him immediately, mostly because like he treats her with that polite, sweet kindness, that over polite, sweet kindness that Adrian has, where he's like very controlled, very concise. And you can tell like it's not fun for Adrian because Adrian's Cannawal is like him letting loose and being who he actually is. And it sucks that like even in his alter ego, he has to kind of be that mask that he puts on for everyone else. So it kind of sucks for him. But obviously he still wants like to be with Ladybug, and Ladybug's main concern is obviously that like Cannawal is in love with her, and so like it's makes their dynamic really hard. But after even like she's like, oh my god, he's like this new Cannibal is perfect. What do they call him? Catwalker. This Catwalker dude is perfect. He even slicks back his hair so it actually doesn't look like Cannibal, and I was like, wow, why can't you guys just do that for like their normal costumes? But even then, it doesn't work out well. Like, they don't work well as a team. So she realizes that she actually needs like the old Cannibal, and Cannibal like apologizes for like obviously being jealous, you know. And then Marinette or Ladybug apologizes for like leaving him out and says like, you're still my favorite partner, and kisses him on the cheek. It is very cute. I just liked it because first of all, I mean, like, obviously it was kind of ridiculous. Like, Catwalker was like a stupid alter ego, but I think I liked it because I too don't really like a lot of the times when they bring in all these other all these other superheroes, and it really clouds away from the main dynamic that is Ladybug and Cannibal, and that's kind of what I'm here for. So I kind of liked an episode that kind of like pinpointed the fact that actually like Ladybug does want Cannibal around, and so I like that. And then we got one of my other least favorite episodes, which is the penalty, where Chloe gets akumatized because she doesn't like playing soccer, and then she becomes a soccer team and everyone plays soccer. I don't like it. Apparently, according to this Wikipedia summary, Chloe forms an alliance with Lila. Yeah, Lila's been in like maybe 3 episodes this entire season. She was very much in the background, but yes, they did sit on the benches and form an alliance that meant absolutely nothing to the end of the show. So maybe season 5, because you know, ending makes it that this alliance between Chloe and Lila would actually be very useful. And another one I really liked was Quailin, where, you know, Marinette's mom, we get to see her and her daily activities, and she fucking rocks, and then Marinette fucking sucks, and she's just like so understanding and kind towards Marinette. I really liked that episode. Yeah, okay, so let's get to the ending. All right, let's get to what we're all here for. So basically, Shadow Moth has a good plan, actually. And I'm not going to judge too much on everyone's actions throughout this episode, or these 2 episodes, because of the fact that obviously they were akumatized without their knowledge. So they were taking risks that maybe they wouldn't have taken, though I am very skeptical to say that Marinette wouldn't have taken one of the risks regardless, but maybe she would have thought it through a little bit more. But basically, Gabriel, he akumatizes a little kid called Froggy, and he makes him have this risk thing. So basically everyone gets a stamp on the back of their neck that's like a frog stamp, and it makes them take more and more risks. So throughout the episodes we can see them taking more and more risks. We see Adrian start to become more and more upset with his father, and Gabriel wants to send him and Lila on this like worldwide modeling tour, and Adrian's like, no, I can't leave Paris. Like, he can't tell him why, but like, no, I can't leave Paris. He's getting pissed, and Marinette is starting to get more riskful in her like wanting to tell Adrian how she feels, especially when she finds out that Adrian's going on this worldwide tour. And Adrian and Marinette actually have a conversation, like a real conversation. Marinette doesn't bumble through it, though I think she's under the risk thing, but it was still actually nice to see. But basically Adrian tells her that he doesn't want to do modeling, he doesn't want to be under his parents' control, he doesn't want to go on this worldwide tour. And so Marinette takes this in her head that she needs to save him. She does like a bunch of crazy shit, as Marinette does. But anyways, point being is there's this build up, and then Felix comes back, and Felix is like, all right, Adrian, I'm gonna get you out of this situation. I'm gonna help you stand up to your father. So they switch places. Like, Felix pretends to be Adrian. Adrian goes out and pretends to be Felix because they look almost identical. And meanwhile, Felix is playing these motherfuckers. He tries to steal the peacock Miraculous, but Gabriel put a fake. But he also discovers Cryo Mom. Someone has discovered Cryo Mom. Not who I wanted it to be, but I'm still excited about this. So he's gonna use that as blackmail later. He leaves pretending to be Adrian to go on the worldwide modeling tour with Natalie, who has an exoskeleton. Also, Natalie and Gabriel, what a cute little couple. What a cute little couple. Cryo Mom aside, and Lila. So they're on the train and everyone's got this recklessness, so now it's time for Shadow Moth's time to attack. And so he calls upon a scent monster and everyone meets up and they're all really like taking way too many risks, and Marinette gives everyone miraculouses as she always does. And then Alia, because she's behind spying, she finds out about the froggy tattoo, so now they have to break the teddy bear that has the Akuma inside of it. Oh, I forgot to say that Alia told Nino about being furtive, whatever her name was. Still being Rena Rouge is what I'm gonna say. So then Nino accidentally says Rena Rouge, and then Marinette finds out, and it's a whole thing. Basically, the battle is being lost, and Marinette realizes that she needs someone to take on the dog Miraculous so that they can fetch the akumatized object. That was the little kid's akumatized object, his little stuffy, because he's froggy and he's putting everyone at risk, and they need to end that right now so they can actually defeat the Scent Monster. And so she goes back and she goes and teleports to who she thinks is Adrian, but it's actually Felix. And Felix is really pissed because he thought he had the Peacock Miraculous but didn't have the Peacock Miraculous. And now he's being offered on a silver fucking platter the dog Miraculous. And this is good for him. He sees an opportunity and he's like, fuck yeah. So he basically figures out how to fetch, which is basically you touch his ball to an object and then you can call the object back to him. He goes and he helps Ladybug. And obviously Adrian sees that Felix is pretending to be the dog, and he's fucking pissed, but he can't do anything about it, right? So, drama. He goes and he sets Stuffy, but he also touches, with his ball, the ball that will help him with fetch, he touches Ladybug's little lady purse, cell phone thingy. You know what I'm talking about. It sits at her waist. I have no idea what it's actually called. Her bag. I don't know. He touches it. It holds all the Miraculouses. So he waits until the battle's over. He waits until Ladybug has gotten all the Miraculouses back, including Rena Rouge's, because obviously now that Shadow Moth knows that Alia is back in play, she can't have the Miraculous anymore. So she takes it back. So she puts them all in there. The only ones that obviously is not in there are hers and Adrian. Now all she needs is to go get Adrian's Miraculous. So she goes to Adrian, and Adrian's like, it was not me. I don't have it. And she was like, wait, what? And he was like, it's Felix. And she freaks the fuck out because she's just made a huge mistake. And I know that she was under risk, but I know that she would have done the same thing regardless of risk. So I'm not actually gonna excuse that. Like, I think she would have done the same thing. She's so blinded by her love for Adrian that she can't make rational fucking decisions. And she probably should have realized that that wasn't Adrian, but I mean, maybe if she hadn't been blinded by risk, she would have realized, but I think she still would have tried. And she could have given it to who had the dog Miraculous beforehand. I can't remember who the fuck it was. I think it was in the soccer episode. I can't remember who had it, but someone else had it before, so she could have given it to that person. But she chose Adrian. So this is interesting. Anyways, so she's like freaking out, and obviously like Adrian's like, okay, no, it's fine, like what can we do? And then her little bag disappears, and she's like, oh my god, like no. And like obviously so what's happening on the other end is that Felix goes and tells Gabriel, hey, I know you're fucking Shadow Moth and I want the Peacock Miraculous. We don't know why Felix wants Peacock Miraculous, but boy, you fucking deserve it. You're the only one with fucking intelligence. So go off, Felix. Take the Peacock Miraculous. Well played. Well deserved. Anyways, he's like, yeah, give me that. I'll exchange for you all the other Miraculouses, plus I won't tell Adrian about Cryo Mom. And Gabriel's like, okay. So they swap, and Felix calls upon Ladybug's little bag. And so now Gabriel's pulling Miraculouses out. Like, he's got all of them besides the Ladybug and the Canoa one, which luckily Ladybug doesn't carry on to that. And I think what we're gonna have to learn from this situation, okay, wait, no, I'm gonna go into that later. Let me just finish this up. Gabriel's got all of it. Adrian's like, okay, so like, what can we do, Ladybug? And she's like, I don't know. And he's like, okay, why don't you try to transform back and then call your bag back? So she does that in the bathroom and the bag is empty. Like, she did it too late. And you know, the fact of the matter is if she had done that like immediately, I think Gabriel would have gotten like maybe 3 or 4, but she started panicking, which like completely understandable. But if she had literally done that immediately, he wouldn't have gotten that many. But now he has all of them, so they're fucked. And so she's like freaking out, and then so Adrian like opens the door to like see her, but she's gone out the window. And then he changes into Canoa and he goes and meets her, and Ladybug's just losing it. She's like crying on the top of the bed, and she's like, I should have trusted you. I took everything on alone. I'm so stupid. Like, I fucked up. And this is one of the sweetest moments where like he's like, no, you didn't. Like, we're gonna get through this together. And he's like there for her, and he just says like such reassuring words after Gabriel literally put out a blast message being like, hey Paris, guess what? I have all the Miraculouses, and if you want my continuous terror to end, you should give me Ladybug and Canoa's Miraculouses. And obviously that's like the setup for season 5, which is like a great setup. Also, Felix has the Peacock Miraculous, so like things are happening, and it's back to just being Ladybug and Canoa. But the other thing is like, while Canoa's like being very sweet and like very comforting, he like picks her up and she like looks at him and she blushes. I shouldn't be this excited about this. I really shouldn't be. Like, this shouldn't have made me so happy. It sucks that I'm so excited about these 2 cartoon characters getting together, but I fucking am. I'm excited. I see season 5. I see the season 5 I want. I don't know if I'm actually gonna get that season 5, but I see that like the reveal, because we learned a few things. We've learned Ladybug keeping all of the Miraculouses is not good. This is what happened. Gabriel was able to get all of them. If everyone had been holding on to their own Miraculouses, then Gabriel wouldn't have been able to do that. So there's one thing we learned. Another thing we learned is that like Marinette taking everything on her own was not good. It broke her, and I understand that. She's 15, she's got so much responsibility, and she's basically doing it alone. I know Ollie was there to help, but like, again, it's like it's not the same, right? And her keeping Adrian in the dark was also not good, because the more secrets she kept from everyone else, the more likely it was that someone was going to fuck up the plan without knowing it, obviously. So, for instance, if Marinette had known that Adrian was Canoa, she would not have gone to Felix thinking it was Adrian to give him a Miraculous, and this wouldn't have happened. We're kind of on the path where actually it's more destructive that they keep keeping secrets, and it's more conducive to a team environment and to taking down Shadowmoth, that they know each other's identity. There's no more point in trying to like play it off as though they don't need to know. So I can see the reveal in the future. I see it in the future. Someone commented that it was coming in season 5 and they knew this. I didn't know this, so I was played by ephemeral, but now I see it. Yeah, I understand. I also think that we're mixing it up a little bit. So now that Gabriel has all the Akumas, we actually have the ability to have a more interesting villain of the week that isn't based entirely on Akumas. Akumas were fun for 5 minutes. We've been doing this for 4 seasons. So that's going to be interesting. And I also think that there's going to be a point where maybe the people of Paris are going to turn against Ladybug and Canoa. And a lot of people are probably going to try to find out their identities more. So there's going to be a need to keep those identities more secret from like other people. But also, I think there's also going to be a need for Ladybug and Canoa to finally reveal their identities so they can actually like get shit done. So I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I didn't mind this season as much as I thought. Maybe it was the COVID brain. There were obviously some stupid parts. There always are. There were some times where I was internally wanting to die. But that's just the sacrifice you make when you're watching Miraculous. But the overall arching plot, like the plot line of the season, which we've never really had before, was good. Like, it was good. Like, there was some actual character growth too. Like, very minute. But Marinette kind of sitting there and realizing that she took on too much and she can't do everything on her own is character growth, because we've seen her in the past literally vocalize that she thinks she can do anything. And so it's like a very humbling moment. And now, like, her kind of realizing that, like, she shouldn't have pushed Kanawal away so much, and she shouldn't have, like, tried to do everything on her own. Like, this is good. This is good character growth. Like, this is something we needed. So, I am so interested to see if season 5 actually pays off what season 4 built up, because, I mean, the show is never gonna be good. They're never not gonna have a Queen Banana episode. They're never not gonna be, like, having stupid bits. But there's little moments that genuinely make me smile. Like, I shouldn't be this excited every time that we get a cute moment between Ladybug and Kanawal, or like Marinette and Adrian, but I am. So, like, I still have investment. This really, like, bubbled up my my hidden love for this stupid show. I still think they should stop if obviously season 5 is not the payoff that season 4 built it up to be. Then, like, out, leave. Like, this is my last straw. But season 4, I was pleasantly surprised. I think when I watched those 3 episodes that I had watched previously, when I made the Miraculous Ladybug video that I made that was about how Miraculous Ladybug needed to stop, I watched probably the 3 worst episodes of the season. So there's that. But obviously there were some minute plot holes, some weird things that they brought up. I felt like they focused a lot more on the classmates, which was really interesting. Some of them were better than others. It was an interesting choice, but I can understand how they're kind of trying to fade away from the usual routine. I think there was too little Adrian in this season. That's my main complaint. I just need my boy to be in more, and next season I can see that being the case. It just really felt like, though I liked the Alia and Marinette of it all, I need my boy, okay? I need him. I need my Kanawar. That was my thoughts about season 4. If you watched season 4, let me know what you thought as well. I thought that the finale showed potential, and I am scared to be disappointed again. But yes, I will be watching season 5. Yes, I will make a video about season 5. Of course I will. I always have things to say about this stupid show. Even if I don't want to, I just do. Last thing. Favorite line in the entire season. You're not Agerkins. You're Ager nothing. Chloe Bourgeois. Okay. Bye.